are divided into three areas: setup reports, vendor reports, and transaction reports. Setup reports provide information related to the setup of the accounts payable system, such as account sets, setup options, and so on. Vendor reports provide specific information related to the setup of vendors, as well as their remit to locations, and even 1099 or CPRS reports. And finally, the transaction reports provide information about the actual transactions, such as batch listings, posting journals, and age payable reports. Let's take a look at the reports in accounts payable.
The setup reports in accounts payable provide information related to the setup of the accounts payable system. They are not necessary to have printed unless there is a need to have hard copies of the setup configurations. The transactions reports gives you information on the transactions in your system. The batch listing, for example, is usually printed before the batch is posted to check for accuracy. In fact, according to the settings and AP options, it may be required if forced listing of batches is selected. This is printed from within the batch itself by selecting File Print, or from the batch list window by selecting the Print button or File Print. The batch status report provides high-level information about a batch, including its status, the number of transactions in the batch, and the amount of the batch. It too can be printed from the batch list window by selecting File, Print Batch Status Report. The posting journal is the final record of what actually posted in accounts payable. Nothing printed on this report can be changed. However, you do not have to print these. Just be sure to not reset your batch numbers or clear posting journals, and you can always retrieve this information. The posting journal report is printed here, or by selecting the appropriate posting journal number in the posting journal column on the batch list window. The check register is a comprehensive report of the payments posted in AP. Printed by posting sequence, it lists not only the check number, payee, and date, but also shows which documents were paid or the GL account number used for miscellaneous payments. The GL Transactions Report is a list of the GL transactions created in AP. This is extremely helpful when APAC's general ledger is not used, or when it is necessary to view several types of transactions in detail or summary on the same report, or by GL account number. Posting errors happen for many different reasons. For example, a GL account could be marked inactive after the transaction was entered, but before the invoice was posted. This report tells specifically what caused the error. It can be printed from either this icon or the number of errors column in the appropriate batch list. The last three reports are also about transactions. However, these reports are about specific vendors or all transactions in accounts payable. The Vendor Transactions Report provides details about a vendor's account. Any or all types of transactions can be included, sorted by document date, number, or fiscal year and period, and is very helpful in reconciling a vendor's account. As you can see, there are many different ways to select the appropriate vendors for the report and sort it, as well as determine what is included on the report. After the window has been set up to run the report most efficiently for a company, it can be saved by selecting the Save Settings as Default option on the Settings menu. The Aged Payables Report is the most often used AP report to assist in reconciliation. This report lists all outstanding transactions or balances by date or year and period. Several selections assist in determining what information is included and how it is sorted. It's important to point out that the aging is flexible, as with vendor activity. These 4 aging periods can be modified at runtime, but the defaults come from within AP setup options. When using this to balance your general ledger, keep in mind that the age as of date is not the critical date, but rather the cutoff date. The age as of date only determines what columns the amounts appear in. The cutoff date may exclude transactions which are in your general ledger. For example, if you enter an invoice dated July 1st, 2010, but posted in June 2010, if this report is run with a cutoff date of June 30th, the invoice would not show up. If the aging doesn't match the GL, rerun the report with a later date for the cutoff to see if this happens. In addition, if a payment is posted in July against a June invoice, Since the invoice was still outstanding at the end of June, then the invoice shows as outstanding for a June 2010 cutoff date, even though it is paid at a later time. This is because the report excludes transactions and their effects if they are posted after the cutoff date or cutoff year and period. The Aged Cash Requirements Report is very similar to the Aged Payables Report, but it takes into account the discount terms offered by vendors. This is extremely helpful to determine cash flow, and is often used to review payables before a system-generated check run. The settings here are exactly the same as the Aged Payables Report, except that you do not have the option to include prepayments on this report or choose to show only overdue payables. It shows everything. The last group of reports is vendor reports. These provide listings of vendors, vendor groups, remit-to locations, and recurring payables, and in many cases also allow comments, statistics, and other information to be included as well. The recurring payables report provides information about the recurring payables that are used, and the labels icon facilitates printing labels with vendor information on them. The last report allows 1099 or CPRS forms to be printed on pre-printed laser forms.
You have successfully completed this topic and learned how to enter adjustments in accounts payable, enter payments in accounts payable, use the inquiry functions in AP, perform periodic processing tasks, and print AP reports. To review the information learned in this Anytime Learning topic, please follow the instructions on your screen to answer and complete the quiz questions. The system will let you know whether or not your answer is correct. You must answer each question before continuing to the next topic. When you're ready to begin, click the appropriate quiz in the left navigation menu.